What's up, my friends? It's time to do a cut test on the Jack Wolf Low Drag Jack. Found out it fits perfectly in my little organizer that I had made it specifically for my Cuvist Vanish, but it fits the Low Drag Jack perfectly, so that's kind of neat. I can interchange them however I would like to. So here it is, my first Jack Wolf knife purchase. Bought it because it was on sale for $230. S90V blade steel, which is very nice. We're about to see how it does. Factory edge was pretty good, pretty nice and sharp. Could have been a little sharper, but it's definitely very sharp, as you can see here. Pretty interesting blade shape. I'm excited to see how it performs. It should be very good with slicing. The way that the belly kind of comes down underneath the handle a little bit, it should really trap material right in there as you're slicing. So we'll see. Starting off with a regular thickness cardboard. Really breezing through this stuff like unbelievably fast. It's pretty nuts. Yeah, it's a cardboard destroyer. Let's see how it does on the triple thickness stuff. Quite a bit thicker. Not too bad at all. Definitely more muscle required to push through it, but it's cutting, no problem. Let's try a couple with the grain. Yeah, it's doing pretty well. Way better on the single thickness stuff though. Now I'm very curious to see if this S90V is going to perform similarly to the only other S90V I have tested so far, and that is from Spyderco on a I think it was a Para 2, pretty sure, or sorry, a Para 3. So I only really have that to compare to as far as S90V goes, and Spyderco is going to be, their S90V is going to be really high on the list of, perfectly done S90V. So that's a good comparison, a good standard to try to live up to. Doing some utility cuts. It's doing okay. But you'll see here in a minute, the reason it was leaving that little first part of the cut still attached was because there was a bunch of tape under there. But you'll see here in a minute, after I take that off, it actually does really good with the utility cutting. There you go. Take that tape off, Kev. It's messing up your test. There we go. Look at that thing fly. Oh yeah. So, slicing through regular thickness cardboard, this thing is stellar. Utility cutting through regular thickness cardboard, very nice. So far, kind of what I expected. How's our edge doing? Oh yeah, we're good. Now, one thing I've noticed with all blades that have kind of a rougher belt satin finish, like this one here, where you can really see the lines in the blade, if those grooves, lines are actually a little deeper, cleaning the blade off becomes a little bit more annoying and difficult. You kind of almost have to go with those lines as you're wiping the blade, because dirt and tape debris and stuff gets stuck in those, each in those individual little grooves. So if you just wipe down the blade like you normally would, it doesn't really get the gunk out. So cutting on some leather here on the leather glove. It's doing pretty good. One or two little sawing motions to get through it, but that's a lot of leather, especially on these gloves. When you get down to the fingers, it's a lot more layers than it was, down in the palm part of the glove. So I think this is pretty good. How about some thick wall rubber tubing? Pretty good. I think that belly is kind of helping me right now. You get that kind of rocking motion. Pretty good. I am noticing that the spine, the edges of the spine is a pretty sharp 90 degree or whatever it is. Those edges are kind of sharp. I almost wish they would have knocked those down a bit. Because you can see when I'll show you a better shot here in a minute, but when my index finger is on the spine, putting pressure down into a cut like this, it feels a little sharp. It's kind of like digging into my digging into my finger. There you can see a little bit better. So, it's not like it's cutting me or anything. It's just a little uncomfortable. Some bungee material. See if we can get some clean cuts on this stuff. And yes, we can. It's not leaving any danglers. It's cutting all the way through. Very good. Back to the paper. What's our edge looking like? Pretty good. It's not slicing as easily as it was before, especially when you go to start the cut. It's not really like biting into the paper super easily like it was, but we're still able to cut paper easily, so we're still looking pretty good. Let's try the strap. This is not much blade, so I know that it's not going to go all the way through the strap, but let's see how far we get. All right, not bad for a little slip joint. Over halfway through. Try again. About the same, maybe even a little bit further. And a third time. Yeah, even a little bit farther maybe. Not too shabby for a little slip joint. I'm grabbing another piece of regular thickness cardboard. I want to cut some more of that just real quick to experience that again, because man, it was blazing through that stuff like crazy. I mean, look at that. This might be the fastest I've ever broken down a box like that. I mean, that's gnarly. It's really fun. All right, let's check our edge out before we try some stropping here. Pretty decent. Pretty good as far as blade steels go. I think I was expecting it to hold a better edge for longer. If memory serves, and I'm confident that it does, Spyderco's S90V at this point in the testing was like really easily cutting paper. Like I could barely even tell that it had cut anything at all. With the Jack Wolf here, it's noticeably a bit duller. So, it's not as cut and dry as that. There are a lot of factors. The factory edge on the Spyderco may have been much better. The geometry of these blades are totally different. There's a lot of factors, but, my tests try to remain relatively simple in that, we cut paper before the testing. We see that it cuts really well and easily. And then we do a bunch of testing, and then we cut paper again afterwards. And you can see the difference. And that's really the extent of the testing. Cuts paper really well before. See how it cuts after. And it seems to me that the S90V from Spyderco cut a little bit better afterwards than this knife. So we're stropping her up. What do we got? A very nice edge. See the difference there? It's biting into the paper when you begin to cut. It's not tearing out when you get toward the end at all. Very nice edge. So, stropped back really great. Didn't hold that edge quite like I was hoping, but still very good as far as blade steels go. I do want to make that clear. I mean, this held an edge really well compared to a lot of blade steels. But S90V is like top of the pack for edge retention, so it's a high standard. Overall, I'm happy with this purchase. It's a really nice knife. The hollow grind is just crazy cool, and works really well for slicing. You saw how it destroyed the cardboard. Pretty good utility cutter too. It's classy. It's well built. I like the pattern. I like this kind of lowered belly kind of blade shape. I like the teardrop handle, or the bullet-shaped handle, whatever it's called. I think teardrop, maybe. I think it looks really nice. So, overall, I'm pretty happy. S90V, good build quality for $230. That's a price that I'm willing to pay. Depending on when you see this video, they might still be on sale. I got this at White Mountain Knives, so I'll put a link to them down below. And it was this knife and also a couple Javelina jacks that were on sale. So yeah, click on the link below. It'll take you right there, and you can go see if they're still on sale if you're looking for one of these. That's about it. I love you guys. Please hit the like button before you leave. And that's it. I'll see you next time.